Record, or are you going to allow it as you record?
Hello world, welcome to Tops Outdoor Adventures. Get the camera the way I want it here. I am out here today with my bestest beekeeping buddy, Tristan. Tristan, say hello to the world.
Hey, hey, how's it going, everybody?
So, Tristan has been all over me on this Demaree.
Well, that's a little bit of strong terminology.
Strong terminology?
That's strong.
Anyway, he's a million questions kind of guy.
Yep, that's
and
true.
He's got me worried.
Nothing to be worried about.
So we're going to jump back in this Demaree. The deal is them running out of room, the queen running out of room, and the bees swarming. Now, I don't think that's going to happen unless those bees begin to pack the that bottom brood chamber with resources, because it is mathematically impossible.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You want to run through the math? There are approximately 7,000 cells on a deep frame. And out of those 7,000 times 10 frame is 70,000.
Have you counted those?
I have not.
Okay.
Well, you take all those frames, 70,000, the queen can lay up to 2,000 eggs a day. So it would take her more than a month to lay up that whole entire box. Got good bees up top.
Yep.
Oh, and another reason Tristan's here is because he's like 7 foot tall, and I'm not.
Also true.
So that top box can get a little cumbersome.
Pop 'em.
So if you just want to set that right off kind of where that smoker was.
Let me set it over there. Here, set it here.
Just set it on the tailgate, please. Got it?
Got it.
And we picked this late in the day because we wanted all the forager bees to be here, because they're the angry old bees. Coming behind you, sir.
Yeah.
Got any weight in that box?
There's a little bit.
Let's lay it flat, please. We may end up pulling frames out of it.
I was just trying to not squish bees.
We got plenty of bees. Just a little weight in this one.
Not much going on in this box.
And out here, the bees have really had a rough go of it. The entire month of April was just so much rain, and the bees just couldn't get out and work in it. Making sure the queen's not hanging out on this bottom. All right, the bottom deep, the adventure begins.
The adventure begins.
We have got, hang on one second, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we'll call it 7 frames of bees.
And a tick.
A tick. I hate ticks. Okay, this frame is not even drawn yet.
Nope.
So I'm a big guy on checkerboarding. Hey, in that bucket right behind you is that frame hanger you told me I'd probably never fix.
It is here. Would you just look at this, folks?
That I finally broke down and welded.
Which side would you like it on, sir?
Just hang it right there if you would. Because these 2 frames are headed inboard. Alright, so what we're looking for in here is to make sure that that queen still has room to lay. Make sure that they are not getting honey bound.
Do you want me to grab a frame as well, or you want to do one at a time?
I'll meet you in the middle.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
If we see the queen, that'll be cool. But I'm not into looking for it. Look at that brood pattern.
That looks really good. I have got some resources over here, and that's about it.
Really?
Yep. Got a little bit of pollen, a little bit of nectar.
I got a crowning going on. Man, that's a beautiful frame. And I'm good with that honey around it, the crowning stuff.
Sure.
I mean, that's not tearing her up on places to lay. So we're going to have 8 solid frames of brood in here.
That's assuming this next one is.
Oh, they're all going to be like that.
Nope.
Nope.
Got one that you checkerboarded.
Uh-huh. Now, notice that I haven't smoked the bees a bunch. Now this one's really heavy.
You have got a bazillion drone cells on this other side, and you're dripping. Look at all the nectar that you just were dripping out of here.
Huh. You see, I've got a bazillion drone cells over here.
Look at all this wetness.
Yeah.
You dripped. You do have a bazillion drone cells, and I've got...
Now, I read somewhere that a hive ought to be about 20% drones this time of the year. That seems really high to me. But somebody way smarter and more educated than me said that.
Okay, I have...
Now the bees are being real gentle. They're not beating me up. I just want to get them down off top. I don't want to pinch any.
You have got a empty queen cup.
Oh, and that's another thing. We're looking to make sure she ain't ready to swarm. I don't see any eggs.
I see some eggs, but I'm also dripping stuff. So they are.
Yeah, she's backlayed all this.
Has she? I bet the stuff that's dripping out right now is just from today. We finally got a few days in a row here of nice weather.
Yeah, you know, and I don't know if a lot of people realize that, but if you have, say it rains for 2 or 3 days straight, that washes out all the pollen and the nectar. And it takes a couple days for that plant to make more of it, you know?
Yep.
And I've still got brood in this frame.
Yeah, I've got a lot of brood here, a lot of young stuff. But you're dripping. Look at that dripping again.
Yep. Alright, I got eggs in here, so she's back filling this. An awful small, tiny brood, and I haven't seen any swarm cells. How does that make you feel? Are you warm and fuzzy now?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
And got a ton of bees, so I'm reasonably confident that they haven't swarmed. So once Tristan gets that frame back in, we're going to move stuff back. We're going to checkerboard in these two that need drawn.
I was just looking to see if I could spot Queenie, but I do not see her yet. So, but I am pretty happy with what I see here, and it does make me have more questions.
Cool. Well, we'll ask away while we stick this thing back together. I am the answer guy. If I can't dazzle you with intelligence, I will baffle you with BS.
Well, I don't even know what to say to that.
Okay, so that's not drawn yet?
This is not drawn. So do you want one there?
Yeah. Actually, let's go 2 frames, throw that black one, 2 frames, throw the next black one.
This is the order that these were here. So do you want to put this here and then put one, or do you want to
move this in one?
What in one? This?
This black one, because it's not drawn, right?
That's right.
Let's get it more centered.
Okay.
I am a checkerboarding guy.
Yeah, that's
once the threat of kill brood is gone, I am a checkerboarding machine.
Okay.
Now I will never separate frames of brood, and by that I mean that we've got 2 drawn frames of brood on your end there, or a resource on one side.
And a brood.
I'm gonna put these 2 together. If I can get it to move, and then we'll put that one in there. Need a little smoke, sir?
I am okay, but I'm just looking at which one they've started on. They've started on this, so let's drop this in there.
Oh, that's right, we got a 3rd one now, don't we?
Yeah.
And then we'll take these 2 over.
Okay.
And that one will slide down in here.
Sounds like a grand plan.
Now, some of these frames don't have the ears on them.
I see that.
So, kind of have to give it a good look
Right here,
at spacing. And then we'll move upstairs. Tristan is a cool guy ninja by career choice, And I'm kind of in a hurry because it's getting a little late, and he just got called out to handle a situation. So I'm trying to
We're good.
to get us rolling along to where, you sure?
Yeah, I'm good. It's all fine.
All right, those are kind of spaced good enough for today.
I think so. Let's take this off of here and drop those in there.
Okay, have you ever forgotten to take that off?
No, I haven't, because I don't
You
have one.
use one.
I don't have one.
Oh, you don't?
No.
I don't know how many times I have had to take a box apart again because I left the frame hanger on there. Little girls, get out of the way. I will not kill one single bee.
Oh boy.
That is totally not the case. All right, so we need a honey super.
Honey supers. That's the
This
order
is the
right
first
there.
one.
Yep.
Now, this is really light. Do we want to burn up time looking at them?
Up to you. You want to look? I'm
fine.
here at your service, sir.
I just want to look and see that because one of them, if I remember right, one box was not drawn comb. So I kind of want to see how they're doing.
Well, this is drawn. Now, this next frame might not have been drawn. This looks like
Oh,
new
it looks
stuff.
good on this side, yeah.
That looks like new stuff. Do you think that was this year? Looks like this year. to
Yeah,
me.
that looks brand new. Okay, and they're all still
And
empty.
this looks brand new, and that looks brand new.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, they're working it.
They
now
are
we just
working
got to
it.
get some nectar in them.
Yep, yep.
And I'm with you. And we've got another friend named Travis who's a commercial beekeeper that I think they're just really getting going
Yeah.
because of the weather that we've had.
It does appear that way. This looks the same, man. I'm impressed that they've even drawn some of these frames out.
Yeah, because see, I
is-
haven't fed these bees at all.
Do you think that that's all that has to be this year?
Yeah, that's new.
Yeah. That's pretty.
Now this is not new,
No.
and that's why it was stuck outside here. But you know, these girls weren't fed anything, so they weren't getting the extra sugar syrup to encourage them to draw comb or nothing.
I believe this is our next box.
Yes, sir. I put them on about half the time. They got the entrance on the wrong side.
Not today.
Anything we want to look at in here?
We might as well take a peek.
Because I'm sure
We're
that
here. The only way to have questions answered is to look.
that's true. And Tristan is the question guy. You know the video, like 2 videos ago, I pulled out a sheet of paper with questions?
That was mine.
Yeah, they all came from Tristan. Okay, we're still getting drawn on this one. How's your side look?
It's strong. There's a little bit of resources going into that.
Cool. Well, we'll just go right on back. So far, I think it's safe to say that we are queen right.
I think so.
We are not honey bound by any means.
Nope.
The queen still got room down there,
She does.
and I don't think they swarmed.
Do you want to look at this box on here because it has more weight to it?
Sure.
Or do you want to look at it up there?
Sure,
Up to
let's
you.
peek at it.
On here or up there?
Actually, I can peek at it right there on top. That way the camera can see us peek at it.
There we go. And
I
all the
learned how-
millions of viewers that we have.
I learned how to cheat.
Yeah, that's all right. God gave me a cheat.
Yeah. Hello, I'm 9 foot tall. So the obvious question is, you play basketball in high school?
No,
Really?
I wasn't very tall in high school.
College?
Nope. I golfed.
Golf. A beautiful walk through the woods spoiled by a little white ball.
That's true.
I have got,
This side looks really good over there.
I've got nectar in this one.
Yep. This side does as well.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they started storing at the top and worked their way down?
It appears that is how this is going down, because this one's full, or not full. I will give this one a rating of 60% full.
You know, a lot of people ask me, they're like, how do you get out of the Demaree? The way you do when you're done with it. Well, I can tell you.
Is this new this year?
I can tell you that my intention is to fix the way this box is sitting on there. But my intention is that I am going to harvest this and this and whichever deep looks the best. And then the worst deep, I'm going to set right back down on there as a double deep configuration and let them take advantage of any summer flow we might have to go ahead and get their stores up for winter.
There's a queen.
Huh?
Just kidding.
But dude, dude, there's a queen. I'd have cried. I was like, wow.
I couldn't help myself.
Yo, and the one thing I get me on my soapbox here. Oh, this Demaree didn't work. I don't know why this queen's just not doing whatever. She swarmed. Well, okay, if you got a queen up here, it's not a Demaree. Sorry, guys. So, anyway, that was a video on back. We sitting there chilling one morning on side by side, sitting over there. I'm sure you saw it because you're my greatest fan.
Yep, I watch them all of them.
Oh, so what questions have come to mind, good sir?
How much honey is it gonna make?
I don't know. And to be honest with you, governed by the weather and how things traditionally roll here in Oklahoma, I mean, even on a good year, you wouldn't expect a single deep colony to make 2 mediums and 2 deeps full of honey in a year.
No.
In central Oklahoma.
No.
So I think the answer is going to be comparing it against the traditional harvest, where you go in with a decent sized healthy colony.
Which I have a bunch of those.
So we ought to have
to have some data.
Have some data.
To compare notes.
Yeah. So that's going to be that. And and I mentioned that because once you've done this manipulation,
yep,
and you've gotten your queen cells out of these 2 boxes, the emergency cells, all you've basically done is make a single deep colony and stacked 4 supers on it.
Yep.
And you walk away from it. So the whole thing about Demaree magic, saved 1 bee. The whole thing about the Demaree magic is just keeping the bees from swarming. And we've accomplished that so far.
So far.
So anyway.
Will Chester have to do another Demaree split on this and add cells back up? That's my question.
Add cells back up.
I mean, add frames back up to the top from down there. If they get too full, that's the question.
Yeah, if they get
that we don't have an
down
answer
here.
yet. Yeah, right.
Right. And I think the answer to that is no, because mathematically she cannot lay this box to the point of her not being able to lay anymore.
Right.
The variable is, will they start storing resources down there? Because if she ends up with 3 frames of resources and 2 frames of resources and a 5-frame brood nest, then Chester's in trouble.
And then the math won't add up, and you will be out of space, and she'll be outlaying your space.
As they say, at that point the math won't be mathing.
Yeah.
But so far, I don't see where they've got a frame devoted to resources,
just
other than that one on this end.
One on the end.
And it was resources. It was nectar on one side, pollen the other.
Nectar and pollen intermixed. Yep.
Okay. And they need that down there.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway. As we're looking at each other, ignoring the camera, say bye, Tristan.
See you later. See you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Give me a like, a thumbs up, a comment, and give me all your questions for Tristan.
Yeah, I'll do the best I can to answer them.
And I kind of just realized, looking at the camera here, that all they saw was you and none of me.
I made a good video.
Yeah, that would be a good video. So, Tristan, I made you the newest YouTube phenom. Hey, y'all take care. Thanks for checking us out.